The next step is to put this action back together, and we're going to put it in the piano, locked down with the cheek blocks. I need them bolted down for this step for a variety of reasons that we're just not going to go into right now. Okay, I'll tell you. Lock them down because you need to have that key bed in the exact location where it's supposed to be. But there's also another reason for it. There's times where you have to cheat and use a glide bolt like I did with this action here, because the design was so bad I had to compensate to get enough key tip out of it on one side of it, because they shaved it very badly in the center rail. So that's why I didn't really want to get into it, because I don't want a whole lot of comments on this. I know what I'm doing with this. You need to lock them down in case you have reasons for this, and especially getting them in the exact right place. I guess if you have a piano like a Yamaha or something like that, you don't need to lock them down, but at least make sure that you put these in place and get it in the right location, because every gram can make a big difference for this step. So next I'm going to show you how we figure out where the lead placements are supposed to be, and that's going to be more involved. Okay, I'm going to show you some really nice tools I designed here. These golden ingots are perfectly weighed out to be the same. These are my samples. I took the average of about 25 weights or so, and I made these ingots exactly that, whatever that came out to be. This was a long time ago. So I use these, as you can see, I even drilled into them a little bit to make them all weigh the same. So I will use these as a guide here, and I could set the weights here and here, for instance. Okay. I also have bigger ingots too. I will show you here. As you can see, in my lead box, I've got tons and tons and tons of lead in the car and everything like that. And you guys know how expensive this stuff is, especially shipping. Okay, so this is a great tool here. This is filled with lead. I don't remember the weight or anything like that, but its design is to trip the hammer and get the hammer up out of the way of the jack to get the friction out of the way. That way, when I put my lead weight on, I don't have the interference of the initial friction from the jack under the knuckle. And you will find that your leading will be far more accurate if you do something like that. Of course, you could use your finger, but this is very accurate. It's very nice. It works for black keys too. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go all the way across, and I'm going to mark. I'm going to mark everything. I'm going to use these lead weights to find where we need to be. We'll start here, and I don't really have made anything yet that's going to work on the sides, but it's coming. It's coming. So let's see where we're at here. The other thing is too, you want to get the dampers out of the way. That was my problem. Okay, I still need to get more lead out of this one, as you could see. Okay, which I will do. This, we can, like I said, I'm watching the hammer on the inside. I just want it raised, I don't know, 1/4 inch or so. And then I know about where to put this. If you get too close to the center rail, you're pretty much spot on. You don't have to let it. This though, this is just far enough away where I'll go ahead and let it. So I will mark, I'll lift the key, and I'm going to mark on the side, up and down, right in the center of where the ingot goes. You see, I'll put a little X of where I have to remove more lead, and I just keep going. You want to set the lead just to where it slowly goes down. Then you know that you're well balanced. Like I said, I have this set to where the hammer cannot go all the way to rest position, so we don't have friction to worry about with the jack and the knuckle, like we would getting the thing to get started. I forgot to tell you one very important thing here. These ingots actually take into consideration the wood that I remove. So I actually weigh a plug that would fit this, and then I subtracted the weight from this. That way that it also accounts for the missing weight that you're removing from the wood in order to, whenever you drill the wood out. So this is all compensated for, which is a really great way to do this because you don't have to do things twice. It's very accurate the first time around. To make it easier for me, I just put a little A, which just means add, and of course I got an X, which means take away. Here we run to a little challenge. Here's the correct lead here, but look, it puts it right over top of another lead. So we're going to go down to a smaller size. So I'm going to put an S here for small. Then also mark it over here too so I don't make a mistake. So I have an S here on the side too. And here we have a situation to where it's going to require 2. So I've used my device here, my spacing tool, and I have it set up, and then I put 2 A's. It's just a double A. I just know that I need to drill 2 holes, and of course I'm going to mark on the sides here. Notice I always keep it on the same side so I know where to look, and the A just gives me an indicator so I don't have to look at every key. I did forget to mention too, since I don't have little ingots like that I made with these gold ones for the smaller ones, all that you have to do is move forward about the space of an ingot. That's pretty much common knowledge. It's an approximate thing if you use a small, but if you make these and you design them with the weight of the wood that's gone, that you just drilled out, you can have pretty much a perfect location every time. I just didn't get around to doing with the smaller ingots yet. In case you want to know, my little lead device here, which works very well, weighs out at 93 grams. You can see the design of it here, where this just a little piece of a popsicle stick. It just pushes the key down just a little bit to get the friction out of the way, and these are plugged. Spent some time on this tool, as you could see. Okay, my ingot, my half inch ingot weighs 14 ounces. You can see another one also weighs 14 ounces. And I was very picky with a more precise scale when I made these, within 1/10 of a gram. I think these are 3/4 inch ingots. 2020. So notice that the real weight is 13 grams. This is a ½ ounce. This is 14. But these are measured in 1/10 of grams. You just can't see it on this scale. You could see that the plug isn't even registering, but it does. Of course. Here's another unusual circumstance here. I have no weights left to pull out, and yet it's going down. So I'm going to put an arrow So when this is out of the piano, the action's out of the piano, we're going to weigh this off and we're going to put a lead on the other side of the fulcrum. Again, if you have to put a lead weight that close to the center pin, you're more balanced than you think you are. Leave it go. You're probably within a half